In the Black Out Loud.
Embrace your personal brand. A personal brand is an important tool to help remain competitive and relevant. It can also increase earning potential by up to 20%. By Megan Breen. This article has been edited for audio purposes. Article begins. While the tools have changed, the principle remains the same. A professional's reputation precedes them. Leaders and public figures have long understood this concept. Socrates managed to build his reputation without writing a single word, relying entirely on public speaking, word of mouth, and perception. More recently, public figures, celebrities, and influencers have embraced the power of online connectivity to craft narratives, connect with their fans, and even monetize their lifestyles. However, personal branding is also an important tool for professionals. Whether job hunting, growing a business, or trying to attract the right staff, professionals should ensure that others see what they stand for, understand why it matters, and trust that they are worthy of consideration. People are looking anyway. Data from Wi-Fi Talents shows 70% of employers research candidates online before hiring, and 85% of hiring managers say a personal brand helps candidates stand out. The reality is that if professionals are not actively shaping their online persona, people will make their own deductions from what is available, and that may alter perception. It makes a financial difference as well. The Wi-Fi Talents data shows that personal branding can increase earning potential by up to 20%, and professionals with active personal brands are 3.5 times more likely to get new clients. In an evolving job market, where relying solely on technical expertise is no longer sufficient, building a personal brand is becoming more and more important. Skills and strengths. It is best to start by defining your particular skills and strengths, advises brand expert Venetia Rathode, managing director at P3 Studio and author of The Briefcase Effect. This isn't about superficial popularity, but authentic self-understanding and clear communication around your unique skills and purpose. I reframe it as the pursuit of mastery, she says. Rathode suggests starting by clearly identifying 3 core elements: what you are naturally good at, how that translates to the work you do, and what your personal drivers are. If you can clarify these 3 things, it will help you answer the question, what do you do? In a far more creative and memorable way, Rathode says. Showcasing skills rather than a role and being driven by something bigger than oneself is a powerful tool, she explains. It shows care, builds trust, and, with technology and artificial intelligence, AI, increasingly automating technical tasks, there is value in being able to highlight timeless human traits. Problem solving, communication, stakeholder management, strong initiative, leadership, and the ability to take on feedback are not traits you will find in a CV. They will be in your reputation, your networks, and how you show up day to day, Rathode says. In a world where hard skills are being automated, as a human, you need to showcase the timeless ones that won't easily be replaced. Fear of self-promotion. It is common to fear self-promotion or have concerns about being perceived as boastful. Individuals often have an aversion to drawing attention to themselves, and due to this, in some cultures, highlighting achievements might only take place in one-on-one meetings. Edwin Ng FCPA, a career mentor and executive coach based in Singapore, notes that while different cultures approach personal branding and self-promotion with distinct nuances, many people working in accounting are reluctant to promote themselves publicly. Accountants are not generally comfortable with selling themselves, he says. They can be humble and may not understand that there is a difference between bragging and putting yourself out there to show your value. People from Australia or the UK tend to be more comfortable with speaking up in group meetings, he continues. I've seen Australian colleagues speak for around 5 minutes to share their insights, and then, when it gets to someone from Asia, they will do a 30-second update and quickly go back to listening. Selecting a method of promotion can also be difficult. While some people might be more at ease with writing articles, blog posts, or social media content, actively speaking or appearing in videos can be daunting. If we had this conversation 10 years ago, I would not be comfortable with anything on video or having my photo out there, says Ang. But the more I progress in my career, the more I see the value of communication, visibility, and relationships, both internally at work and also externally. Reframing self-promotion as sharing expertise can be a helpful way to look at it, explains brand expert and photographer Rebecca Taylor. Lots of us are uncomfortable with self-promotion, but if you reframe it as offering a service, it is a game changer. By sharing your expertise and value, you are helping others, she says. The more you share, the more people will gravitate to you and actually take notice, which means you will ultimately help more people. Use visuals. In a saturated media landscape, professionals need to be able to get people's attention, and the best way to do that is by using video and photography, Taylor says. Visuals are going to cut through the noise, because often people won't stop scrolling to read the content. They'll stop because they see a great image, she adds. Like a lot of accountants, Yasmin Ko FCPA, Managing Director of chocolate business Sweet Pea and Poppy, says she's not particularly extroverted, but as a female founder of a brand, it has been essential to put my face to my product. It was a really daunting thing to do at first, but it is something you need to move past because being the face of your brand is the best way to connect with your audience and demonstrate true authenticity, says Ko. Using visuals also provides an element of relatability, especially when it is so easy to use AI to create content. Taylor recommends that people use photos of themselves in their real work environment. It is best to avoid using stock photography and actually make it all about the real humans who people will be connecting with, Taylor says. Be consistent. There is a branding concept, coined the 3-7-27 law, which suggests that people need to see a brand 3 times before they recognize it, 7 times before they remember it, and 27 times before they trust and engage with it. Taylor says that it is not enough to just post every now and then, or share an article without a comment. You need to post something at least 3 times a week, she explains. You might think that people will get sick of you, but the reality is that they won't see all your posts. You need to be consistent in sharing value-driven messages, tips and tools, with photos attached to build trust and make a connection, which is so important in building a career profile or sustaining a business, Taylor says. It is a concept that Ko has embraced. She posts regularly on a variety of platforms including LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram to connect with both customers and business networks. When I see business founders sharing the highs, the lows and the vulnerabilities, it makes it real for me. While high frequency and vulnerability are largely seen positively, there is nuance to the type of content shared. Sharing irrelevant content or overselling that you have a new job, for example, can be less engaging and less authentic, says Ang. The aim should be to project a profile naturally, without being too pushy or constantly trying to sell something. Look for opportunities to contribute, like sharing a podcast you have been involved in or a conference you spoke at, which helps add to the conversation about a particular topic, he adds. Another way to think about your online presence is to treat it as a 24/7 resume, adds Rathode. If someone's choosing between you and another candidate, and your digital footprint shows your expertise, voice, and style, then you're already one step ahead. We make decisions every day based on who we recognize and feel aligned with. I remind people that you never know who is watching, Rathode says. Many people won't engage with your content, but I guarantee that they're paying attention.
In the Black, Out Loud.